First tonight, a tragedy averted. The three young men in this fiery crash survived, and many are crediting the pilot for a dicey landing under a bridge.
That plane went down just south of Honoulu Gardens at about 1:30 this afternoon. Witnesses say it circled as it lost altitude before aiming for a canal in Mapunapuna that goes right under the freeway. Authorities still haven't identified the three men who escaped with their lives. They might have fared worse if not for witnesses who rushed to help.
Tonight, we have new details on that aircraft linked to a flight school in Honoulu. But first, JoBeth De Vera is live at the Queen's Medical Center where the victims are being treated. JoBeth.
Thanks, Keahi, Steph. Officials say all three men aboard the downed aircraft are in their 20s. They were taken to the hospital in serious but stable condition and are likely to remain here overnight at Queen's. First responders and bystanders say they're amazed there were any survivors at all.
I had just gotten out of my car at the Chevron at the Mapunapuna, and the plane came over about 20-30 feet up. It didn't see any smoke or anything like that. It just made a really sharp turn and lined itself up with the canal. And the next thing I knew, it crashed underneath the bridge.
Harley Bone was the first to arrive on scene and helped pull the three men out from the burning plane.
First thing I told him, like, your plane is on fire, we gotta get you out, like now. And then it just kept repeating that, your plane's on fire, we gotta get you out. They were all responsive, all the guys were alive. It was a little bit banged up, but they were all able to at least move and were conscious.
Those driving along a busy Moanalua freeway watched in horror as the plane came dangerously close to traffic.
I seen the plane coming, I was like, what the hell, where's that plane going, yeah? Then I seen them go down, and all I seen the plane go down and smoke. That's all I saw, like right away.
JP Damon says he thought it was a couch on fire under the bridge.
As soon as I realized what it was, I saw the tail of an airplane and it was fully engulfed. There's literally no cockpit.
35 firefighters responded and put out the fire, then worked to contain airplane fuel from entering nearby waters. The Ballard Mortuary's back parking lot, which lines the Moanalua stream, was evacuated for a few hours as a precaution. Fire officials say there were no other injuries and no structures were damaged.
Now, the FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board are investigating the crash. We're live tonight outside the Queen's Medical Center. JoBeth De Vera, Hawaii News Now.
JoBeth, thanks so much. Let's get more now on that aircraft involved. It's a popular model for learning to fly.
Ben Gutierrez is here now with details on the plane and other recent accidents. Ben.
Thanks very much, Steph and Kiahi. The plane involved in the crash was a single-engine Piper P-28, more commonly known as a Piper Cherokee. Records say it was built in 1971 and had been recertified to continue flying just last year. This is a Piper Cherokee similar to the one in today's crash. More than 30,000 of them have been built since production began in 1960. Back in June 2013, a Piper Cherokee had to make an emergency landing near Kaehu Bay on Maui. Today's crash near the Honoulu freeway was rare for where it happened.
In my 31 years in this business, it's extremely rare to have a plane crash in urban Honolulu.
The only other urban crash in recent memory was in May 2013, when a snapped cable forced the pilot of a Robinson helicopter to land without power downtown on 4th Street. The pilot and a passenger walked away with minor injuries. Most of the single-engine aircraft crashes here involved Cessnas. One made a hard landing at Kalaupapa Airport on Molokai last March. Another disappeared off Molokai without a trace in January with 3 people aboard. And 5 people aboard a Cessna were killed on Kauai a year ago, the same day that a single-engine Beechcraft went down in waters off Makaha. The 2 people aboard that plane survived. The aircraft in today's crash belonged to a company called Aircraft Maintenance Hawaii, which advertises itself as a family-owned company specializing in small engines.
It's very fortunate they landed, or they were able to place the craft where it is without causing any damage or injuries to anyone else.
Now it's up to investigators to determine what went wrong. The registered owner of the aircraft is John P. Mueller of a Honolulu address. He apparently was not one of those aboard the aircraft when it went down. The NTSB's investigation could last several months. Ben Gutierrez, Hawaii News.